Breakfast puppies, dinner puppies, lunch puppies, ain't no thing. I'll dust all them puppies because I'm Jebediah. I'm the farmer over here. I got all your dusting puppy needs.
This podcast contains adult language and content and is meant for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
We're all set to begin, so let's dive right in to Bikers, Dice, and Bars. Talking bicycles and motorbikes, gamer things and all the like. You can listen to it in your cars, but mostly it's about dive bars. Bikers, Dice, and Bars.
Welcome to what may or may not be a bonus episode of Bikers, Dice, and Bars Extended Character Jam. Woo!
I think the last time we did that was whole. So this should, in theory, end with me not in tears.
Well, we actually did kind of a bonus thing with Alex Jacobian when we did that with Broadsword,
yes,
which was only released for patrons. One day we should actually play that game, but God, scheduling during the current 2020 apocalypse has just been a nightmare.
Oh, yes.
Broadsword.
Yeah. Well, this is a special bonus because as we did with Whole, we are returning to a character jam that we did previously. And that was Firefly, which, again, as timing and workloads have worked out, I just finished editing today, like a month after we recorded it or more. Sorry, guys. But yeah, we're going to be building our ship now. We closed out last time saying, we've been at this for almost 2 hours. It's time to go. But the ship, again, like if you're familiar with Swinity, Firefly, you know that the ship is essentially another character in the show. And the video game, the board game, the other type of game that you play at the table, which is a role-playing game. In that one, the same is true.
TTRPG.
So let's recap. Who remembers anything about their characters?
TTRPG stands for Tabletop Role Playing Game.
Thank you.
For those of you at home, we have developed a system of signs that we are now flashing each other, I guess, when we don't want to interrupt, but someone has a confused look on their face or wants us to...
Someone's got to get a picture of me like...
Yeah, it's pretty good. Poppy says, "What the hell is that?" Instead of her actually saying it, she just holds up the sign and then Jacob goes, "Oh," and explains it instantly. It's going to be great.
Yeah, our housemate gave me these pair of dry erase tablet little signs that I thought were paddles. But they're basically paddles, but you really don't want to spank anybody with this because they're flimsy. But he gave me a couple, and then I was like, I need more so everyone can have them. So now we have a shitload.
They're more like a sweltering Southern lady fan, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my stars. It's just, I'm wilting in this heat today.
Well, let's see if I can remember to use them. This could be an exercise in wasted money.
Those are my favorite exercises. I'm so good at it.
For some reason, my keyboard keeps glitching out, so I guess I don't get to use it. Yeah, something weird is going on my computer. Hold just a moment, please.
Pause.
I thought there was a sign for that.
Who remembers their characters?
I do.
I remember the concept of my character. Because of other technical difficulties when we went to go and create the character sheet, we had to do it on PDF as opposed to paper like we usually do. And of course, mine just didn't save, apparently. But I remember the concept of my character, and I can just roll with that.
Nice.
Kinda.
Okay.
This is my handwriting.
Well, Jacob, you remember, so let's get you to start.
So, my character is Ang Cumberland, retired Master Chief Petty Officer of the Alliance Navy, and is the captain for this band of traitorous miscreants.
Excuse me, just because my coat is brown does not make me a goddamn traitor. I don't remember the name of my character, but I'll just come up with another one, and that's fine. But I am the shepherd class for this motley crew that we have. My character, of course, is not too loosely based off of Jesse Custer from the graphic novel and TV show Preacher. So kind of like the guy with the hardened criminal past who finds the way of the Lord and yet is still somehow shockingly good at blowing shit up.
Poppy.
Okay, so
So here's the thing.
I seriously have very little memory of this night, apparently, which is just not uncommon for my brain. All right, my character is Ho?
I think it was Ho. Yeah.
Sorry. I'm like,
Who is my character? No, Poppy, that's the question.
I have to go through, fuck you. I have to go through the whole Chinese zodiac. I have to go through all 12 to figure it out. Anyway, Tu Long Shi, Ma Yang Ho, Ji Go Ju.
And we just lost China.
Ho. I'm sorry, my accent is terrible. All right, this is Ho, which is Mandarin for monkey. My character is a they, them. They are a scrappy and androgynous derelict salvager orphan.
Well, that was one hell of a mouthful.
Yeah.
That's a lot of adjectives.
It's a lot of derelict salvager orphan. I have some really groovy signature assets, such as my Taurus Judge gun. I've got a multi-tool, and I've got the map of the known universe. Yeah. I am the ship's pilot. I am into quote unquote creative maneuvering. And I am
Is that the leaf upon a wind skill?
something like that. So yeah, basically I'm kind of a it's all coming back to me. It's all coming back to me.
Well, anybody who wants to know more details should probably go and listen to the character jam. But let's not do the whole life story here.
I should have listened to the character jam, but
well, you couldn't because I just finished it.
It was just rendered like an hour ago. So. And
rounding out the group, we have my character, Perseus Alexius, also known as simply Perk. He is the first mate / bruiser of the team. But instead of the Jane style bruiser, I went with the more dumb Chris Hemsworth from the All 80 Ghostbusters cast bruiser, like really beautiful, dumb as a box of hair. I think the quote was, well, he fell off a turnip truck. He clearly fell off a turnip truck, but it was a big truck and he left a big dent in the ground and it was a beautiful dent.
Can you guys tell me which one of these pictures makes me look more like a doctor?
Yeah. Some key features that I want to highlight here is that he has a god-awful French dueling sword. I like that because he thought it was cool. Basically a mall ninja sword. He's got a bottle of Sex Panther cologne.
I don't remember this episode.
A sweet leather fucking jacket. And my favorite combinations of things. He's good at sucker punching. He's good at look at me. And he's good at keeping an eye out for things that will kill us.
That sounds handy.
That does sound very convenient.
I think the one thing I was happiest with, though, just in my brain, because once I figured out that I was going to pick this one ability, it defined the character in my brain. And that was a first mate ability that you can spend a point. And if the captain is like in a scene and you're not, you can spend a point, sort of appear in the scene. And I've just got this mental image of you're watching the show, the captain's in trouble. There's someone, the camera switches looking dead on at the face of someone about to do something to him, something bad. And then out of nowhere, this right hook just comes and sucker punches him as Perk just sort of slides into the screen. Sorry, it took so long, Captain.
It's just like from out of the camera, just like boom, like just an arm comes into the frame.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is just absolutely perfect because it's like one of my abilities is let's just forget about this little mess.
That's an actual skill.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun making this. And one of the things that we kept repeating over and over again the whole time was, we really want to play this. So
yeah.
Hopefully, if Halo Hand is still committed to this and is still going to stick with the offer, we may have a GM.
Sweet.
Are we going to record it?
What? Oh, we'll definitely be recording this.
Yes.
And streaming it. The one crucial final piece in order to play, other than finding a GM, is building our fucking ship.
I'm so excited. I just want it to all I care about the ship having is a really badass paint job on the outside, which I'm sure is going to get all dinged and scratched and whatever, but like it's got to have like a fucking wizard riding a velociraptor or some shit on the outside.
I hate it. I hate it so much. But can we get truck nuts?
No. Fuck no. We can get truck ovaries.
Okay, I think they had that in Farscape. Anyway,
I thought those were like chin gonads. Already.
And Jacob,
I haven't thought about Farscape in so long.
yeah, I mean, the spaceship did give birth to another one, so I think technically that applies. Well, I would like to read the quick blurb at the beginning of the separate character creation process just for the ship. In a chapter entitled Find a Ship, with a big wholesome picture of Kaylee at the top, and a quote by Kaylee, you like ships. Don't seem to be looking at the destinations. What you care about is the ship. Mine's the nicest. Kaylee, Serenity. But the bit I wanted to read, when you're out in the black, you'd best have a good boat to rely on and a crew member who can fly, fix, jerry-rig, and connect with her. The verse is filled with all kinds of ships, from Alliance cruisers to small transports and everything in between. Each boat has her own crew, history, and character. And ships can perform all manner of functions, from transporters to patrol ships to bed ships and beyond. In Firefly, ships are more than just vehicles for transporting folks from places like Persephone to Ariel. In many ways, your boat is part of your crew. Treat her right, she'll serve you well.
that was beautifully done.
Thank you. So let's start building a ship here. We'll leave the pretty writing over there to Poppy, who I think has the best handwriting of the crew.
I think, okay. I need.
You also have to do it because I have no space over here.
I think I need a clipboard actually to make this actually pretty. Do we have anything? Oh,
Why,
hey,
yes.
Look at that.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
do.
Oh,
And look what's underneath that.
Oh, cute.
Your fake assassin gnome.
My Fluvog Cumberbatch. My fake assassin.
You wanted to make a gnome assassin?
Oh, my gnome. Yes.
Yeah.
Gnome assassin.
I
Fuck
think you
yeah.
were so pissed that they couldn't do it.
You know what?
Spent so long on that concept.
I say fuck the rules. I'm still going to play a gnome assassin because fuck you.
All right. Okay, a ship, just like a character, builds a dice pool. When you take actions, whether you're flying, the gunner is shooting, or the first mate's operating the comm, you create dice pools. And dice pools are going to be based on the boat, plus the crew member's appropriate skill. You might also add the boats and or distinct crews and or distinctions, maybe some assets. We'll tell you all about those pieces next. We're going to start with the ship here. Attributes. You have 3 attributes in Serenity. In Firefly. We're not playing Serenity, thank God. You have 3 attributes for a ship. Engines, hull, and systems. The engines make your ship go. You roll engines plus your character's fly skill to lose a patrol ship. You roll engines plus your character's fix skill to give your pilot an extra boost dodging reavers and maybe pull a crazy Ivan. You roll engines plus focus to keep your ship steady while a firefight is going on outside. Examples of engine complications. See the episodes Out of Gas, Tailspin, and Fire. No. Those are actual complications. Okay, I'm misreading it. I thought they were episode references.
I was like, I didn't recognize those episode titles.
In which case, I would be like, that's fucking tight. Because I do love that this system has direct show situations that they keep porting in as examples of when things happen.
It's a good reference point, especially if you are as intimately familiar with the show as I'm pretty sure we all are here at the
there's
table.
only like 13 episodes, so they can pretty much get them all in that book.
Yeah.
So,
the only other game property that I've seen this with personally, I'm sure there's many others, is the Farscape role-playing game, which was a D20 system. I have it on the shelf over there. It only goes up to season 2 because seasons 3 and 4 didn't exist at the time. So it's pretty fascinating. But I do like that it gives examples and it talks about the story and it has a recap of every episode.
The Stargate RPG was also really good for that.
Nice. Did they ever have a superior Stargate source book for Universe? The one that I actually liked? Damn. That show was so good. Okay, anyway, hull. The structure that contains the interior of the vessel keeps everything together. The higher the die doesn't mean your vote's invincible, but it might indicate you have a reinforced chassis or high storage or more passengers or crew or loot or whatever. You roll hull plus fly to survive a landing. You roll hull plus fix to make sure gunfire doesn't destroy any of your systems, and hull plus sneak to hide your ship in the middle of a salvage heap.
Cool.
And finally, systems are the computerized systems that help the ship operate, such as life support, comms, cortex access, targeting computers, and astrocation. Systems plus notice can scan for hidden ships. Systems plus operate can jam communications. And systems plus shoot, well, you know what that does. There we go. Your ship's distinctions, 3 types of distinctions: class, history, customization, blah, 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 blah. Okay, where do we assign the fucking points here? Okay, all right, making your own ship. In this system, first we pick a class. There we go. Class.
Fast. Just whatever's fast.
Well, ultimately, I think the captain should get the final decision.
It is probably his boat.
But I think we should all have a say in it, and the captain makes the final arbitration.
Oh my God, that's right. We made Jacob the captain. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
How drunk were we?
We must have been.
So I wasn't going to bring this up, but there's a reason why I remember this character jam real well and everybody else doesn't. Because I only had a quarter of a bottle of bourbon in my house when we made these characters, whereas everybody else had something on tap.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah,
and I
just
did
the
not
light coming
pregame.
back in. Oh.
Like, I seriously don't remember. I mean, I look at this and I go, oh, yeah, we did this. Yeah. But I don't remember.
I remembered my character. I just don't remember making Jacob captain. And it made sense that I wasn't. That's about all I remember.
Yeah, I just don't like being in charge. It's too much work.
Jacob has now been the captain in multiple sci-fi games that I've been involved with or run. So good job.
Yeah, Halo Hand will be having to deal with me twice as captain.
Well, as long as this time you guys aren't calculating the caloric value of all of your ship's onboard replication systems. Okay, anyway.
Don't challenge me. You were the one who decided to run a post-apocalyptic survival game for 3 preppers, dude.
Yeah, that was...
I mean, but
I made a mistake.
Was it useful information for these unprecedented times?
Well, we did figure out the caloric value of a gigantic jar of pudding.
A number 10 can of pudding.
10 can. Yeah.
I remember hearing about that.
Okay, anyway, let's focus on this game. Class. Your ship's class distinction is the most important one to consider. Although many of the classes fit certain archetypes well, don't worry much about staying true to that. You can always modify it. Okay. Military vessels. They have some military vessel options. We have some transport vessel options. And we have some service vessel options.
What do they consider a service vessel?
All right.
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
Service. Sometimes you might need a boat that's highly specialized for a particular line of work. And that's what service vessels are. Because they fill a specific need, they aren't commonly found, and they generally vary widely. For example, Canuck-class Explorer has a really fantastic sensor system designed for getting a bead on anomalous mineral deposits on asteroids and planets. Whereas a Grasshopper-class short-range shuttle is, designed to flit among the core worlds. We've got a science ship, a surveyor vessel, a rescue ship, a fucking Skyplex. Yeah.
So my question for our captain is, this is probably your boat, is when you went shopping for a ship.
When you went boat shopping.
Well, basically the question is, did you acquire this ship through some kind of nefarious or other, not even nefarious, did you inherit it? Did you win it? Did you buy it? And then if you purchased it, what was the intention of the purchase? Because that's going to, I think, really, really dictate what the kind of ship this is.
And also what kind of crew he's putting together and why.
So looking at the crew we have, a surveyor or minor vessel or even a salvager doesn't seem to quite fit. While we do have one person with some salvager abilities, the crew as a whole is like, well, we'd sit around and watch Poppy's character work if we did salvager. And
I would pray for her soul.
Yeah, well,
thanks.
And I would supervise effectively. And the other member of the crew would look very pretty while handing tools.
Which one of these hammers makes me look more like a doctor. I don't know.
So a little bit of backstory on Aang is that after the war, Aang is not particularly comfortable planet side for long periods of time. He's been born again in the black, as it were. And so he would be looking for a ship. He definitely doesn't come from money, so he didn't inherit it. He probably has a note to a bank somewhere on it, I suspect. And so I'm thinking like a merchant ship or a personal, not personal, but human transport ship of some kind would definitely be what I was looking at. Definitely not a military ship. He's done way too much of that garbage, and we don't have the skill set for rescue, so we couldn't make our money as a rescue ship in any way, shape, or form. So I think we're kind of stuck on the merchantman or liner style of ship is my thinking.
I kind of like the idea of a retired, like, ocean liner, like cruise ship, but for space.
Yeah.
You know, but maybe it's like a small, like, it's not like it's not like the Disney cruise, but it's like a smaller kind of cruise ship that has been retired because it was like, oh my God, so last year's model or whatever.
What's that new show that just came out with Hugh Laurie about the space ocean liner?
I'm not sure. I don't know. That's a thing.
I know what you're talking about
it's
now.
So
man, I can't think of the name.
Funny. Here, I'll look it up real quick because I think that's what Poppy's talking about.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like a broke down super yacht, like rich person's super yacht.
Well, what do you think about this? This is the example that they give of something like that. It is a Tchaikovsky-class passenger liner. Popular in the core, the Tchaikovsky-class liner is manufactured by the elite SDG Corporation, caters to the gentry. Most citizens who book passage on one of these are mighty particular and want to be seen fine in style. They are fashionable sloops. Not only get folks to their destination, they do it with grace. All the grace that a boat can muster.
Yeah. What's the capacity on that?
Well, it has engines of 6, hull of 10, and systems of 8.
Cool.
So every distinction, of course, gets certain abilities. So the start one that every distinction get is gain 1 plot point when you roll a d4 instead of a d8. If you buy the second one, it's called spared no expense. When you hold a shindig on your ship, you create a d8 asset related to it. After the scene, take or step up a social complication that results from the party. And the third one is verse class entertainment. After spending an hour relaxing, any crew member can spend a plot point to step back a physical or mental complication.
I think that sounds good too, because it would also make sense on such a ship to have a chapel or something like that on there, which would make sense for a shepherd to be there.
Yeah, I could see us making our money from everything from renting out the ship as a movie set to running pilgrims to and from the various shrines to chartered excursions and that sort of thing.
We are the Airbnb of the skies.
Yeah, that's a kind of a good way to describe it. Yeah.
I mean, the air is in the name. Because you're flying, because you're a ship.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally down with that. It also would fit with how the crew's put together. We have a shepherd to take care of the pilgrim routes. We have a first mate who is easy on the eyes for our more discriminating clientele.
I think the word you're looking for is Chippendale.
I'm Chip and Dale. Different Chip and Dale.
The first mate doesn't actually know what a tuxedo looks like, so he just took the uniform and nodded.
God, I hope he has tearaway pants, because that would just be the fucking best.
But here's kind of what I'm picturing is, and if we want to scrap this idea, that's totally fine. But what I started immediately picturing was a cruise ship from like the 70s, right?
Yep.
So think about like America 1970s.
Just gaudy as fuck.
It's but it's like sort of looks like it's been hanging out, like rotting in the Poconos for a while, if y'all get that reference.
Yep.
But I mean, you've cleaned it up, you've done stuff to it, but a lot of it you just left, and
You can tell it was old.
like it's sort of
and
like
didn't have the best interior designer.
like the 70s swingers pod. Kind of I'm not like that's what it was for, but it has that
Just
look
so
of
much
like,
paisley, so much paisley.
shag carpet and
Yes.
gold filigree and just all that bullshit.
Yeah,
you know
just
what
that
I mean?
like maroon brown hue that was just so prominent for some fucking reason.
The
love
captain's
it.
quarters has a heart-shaped bathtub in it. We don't know why. Just like again, it doesn't have to be exactly that. But
Nope,
just
yes, it does.
That
Yes, it
kind
does.
of aesthetic is what I'm picturing. Whatever that version in this world would be, that's what I'm picturing. Okay, I'm done.
The bar is still stocked with just like subpar liquor.
I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
So do you want to take away the description of this ship here, or should I? Because
Go right ahead.
okay, what you've just described is the exact same fucking ship that the last space game I played, the one where Jacob played the captain of the ship. It was some pleasure yacht from some rich space fuck
God damn it.
done up in shag carpet. It had one of the bunks was the love room that they had converted into like a diplomatic like a transport so they could take passengers.
Wow.
I had no idea either. Oh my god,
That's
Just
really funny.
through the glass fist bump. There we go.
Oh man.
Okay, so I just looked up the show I was thinking of, and it's called Avenue 5. And if you guys have not seen Avenue 5 yet, it is worth it. It is about it's about a space passenger liner, a super luxury one though, so not quite shaggy. But and the entire crew is basically just they're a sham. Like they're there for looks and aesthetics. Like the captain dresses up like a captain. They have like the whole bridge and everything, but it's connected to nothing. They just have lines that they rehearse to each other because it's really run by a bunch of like geeky engineers and like in the whole of the ship and computers.
That sounds slightly similar to a movie that I started watching but bailed out on called Space Station 76, or was it 78? I don't know. It was very recently made, but it was a throwback to 70s era concepts of science fiction. It was kind of comedic, but a little too slow moving for my taste. Anyway, things you want to write down.
Okay. So what is the ship class again?
It is, just put passenger liner.
You're not going to make her spell out Tchaikovsky?
I'm probably going to spell passenger wrong.
It's make a note that the starting engines are 6, starting hull is 10, and starting systems is 8. Okay, and if it's got a spot for you to write, like little, what do you call them? The
Got signature assets?
distinction triggers
Distinction triggers. Hold on.
Might be on the back.
on the right side. So
Distinctions.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, on the right side, each one is marked as use a D4 to earn a plot point kind of thing,
Yes.
or whatever. So the very first one of those, next to the big 8, is going to be
Okay.
passenger liner. And next to the first empty checkbox, write spared no expense.
Okay, hold on.
In the 70s.
Well, I'm sure our captain has done it up, and if you got that really big loan,
Yeah, really big loan.
Yeah, alone.
Alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
From
next
a
one you're going
bank.
to, sorry. So right.
Well, so passenger liner, spared no expense, and then one more checkbox under that.
Verse class entertainment.
This character was a survivor of the Battle of Sturgis, and anybody who's
In South Dakota?
spelled slightly different but pronounced the same. So anybody who's deep in the lore of the Firefly universe may figure out where he maybe got the money for this.
I have so many questions about why you chose this ship, but let's do the rest of this stuff first, and then I can ask them.
Okay.
Okay.
Next step 2, choose 2 more distinctions. Every boat has 3, so including class, you get wait, what? Oh, got it. Class is the one that you always get for free, and then you get 2 more distinctions to add, much like you did with the rest of the characters. Okay, distinctions can be based on history. They can be based on customizations that you've made to it. That looks about it. Yeah.
A bigger, badder engine.
So I'm making a bit of an executive decision as the captain here. That I put the crew together before the ship was up and running again, because I certainly couldn't. I wouldn't have known what to do with an engine room to save my soul. And I saw a market in the pilgrim trade, and so I had to find a shepherd somewhere. And well, my character knows what he's good at and knows what he's not good at, and he's not the best glad hander. He works in bureaucracy, especially, and the military real well. So he needed somebody who was more approachable for the genteel set, and that's and so the crew was assembled before the ship was returned to spaceworthiness. So the crew gets a whole lot of buy-in on the attributes, because he had to kind of like delegate getting stuff done because it was outside of his bailiwick.
And also, I think that way, too, we get to know just how gaudy the ship looked like before we touched it up a bit. Like, oh, I know what that room used to be. Ooh.
Well, I'm going to read off the list. It's actually not very long of options. Some of these won't make sense, so I'll just skip them, because you said it's not a war vessel, right?
Nope,
so
not a war vessel.
I'm just going to skip anything related to battle. Bad reputation, beautiful lines, been around the verse, and some you've already said. Some of you've already, through your description, canceled out. For example, brand spanking new wouldn't apply to this. Okay. Cobbled together. Coming apart at the seams. Cursed.
Ooh. Could we have a haunted cruise liner from space? Can you read the description for cursed really quickly? And can cursed mean haunted?
You always wondered. You always wondered why this ship was so goddamn cheap. Now you know. Weird things just happen to this ship. Things break for no reason. The Alliance shows up when it's most inconvenient. Bad things.
Why would anyone volunteer? Are they all just bad? Like,
distinctions are
like, do you get a bonus if you have a cursed ship?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, what's the bonus?
Well, no, all of these they're a mixed bag. What they do, distinctions give you options for role playing and for getting cool points. So they give you options to reroll dice. They give you all kind of stuff. Sometimes you can narrate them in a bad way. Ultimately, what they are is built towards creating a character that's interesting and has things happen in the game. Yeah.
I really want a haunted space liner. Please.
Let me go over the others, though. Former laboratory, it doesn't make sense. Off the grid is one. Famous, if you want it. Former salvage, held together with duct tape and chewing gum. Rerouted internals, stolen. They don't make these anymore. Unsafe. Oneer in a card game. Armed. Customizations. Let's see. Automated controls. Broadcasting. A bull in a china shop.
What?
I like this one. The description. You've reinforced the for your ship, so it's that she's a weapon all of her own. Who needs guns when you can just blow right through them like she were paper? So it's essentially ramming speed, the complication.
Yeah.
Built for speed, built for death. Sorry.
Yikes.
Death. The porcupine waits for death.
See, the kestrel's mating.
No, built for speed, built for stealth. Cruising the verse, deep space ready, electronic warfare, experimental, optimized for Atmo, smuggler's delight, green living. We got plants all over the place.
The grotto is very nice this time of year.
Ordinary, sundiver, so that you can get mighty close to a star, or turtling. Lots of armor. Those sound interesting.
I like the idea of possibly either famous or infamous and curse. That way we could basically have the space version of the Queen Mary.
That sounds rad. I think the rest of our crew is just ghosts. Like all of our servers are just ghosts who just are like still there.
It's the Haunted Mansion from Disneyland.
Yeah.
Restaurant edition.
I also like the notion that like technically it's a passenger liner, but we may be not able to use all of the quarters, and we've had to lock them off from passenger access because we just
don't
haven't
go in there.
We haven't been able to fix up that section.
Captain, the hot tub's full of blood again.
Oh God!
I hate when that happens.
Why are you telling me? Get the shepherd exorcism.
Shepherd. Oh, I'll turn it into wine. It'll be great.
Don't worry, I got this one.
I like Curse. That sounds hilarious, and we could have a lot of fun with that, given who we are, and given our characters too. I'm interested in hearing more about Cobbled Together, because I kind of like the idea that you got this really kind of for how old it is, like kind of nice ship for real cheap.
Yep.
Because it's cursed. But then maybe you put like a V6 engine in it, or like a Hemi equivalent. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what I'm interested in, is like, does it go fast?
Does it go fast?
Can I have a Firebird Trans Am of a ship?
Wasn't there one that's built for speed?
Yeah. Oh, and so I don't know if it actually comes out and says this, but the ones that are considered negative are really good because they give you points and they get you extra complications. And you want complications to get more points to do cool stuff, because the ones that are good then let you spend points to do cool stuff. For example, one of the ones under Cobbled Together is Frankenstein's boat. Spend 1 plot point to switch the die ratings of engines and systems for the rest of the scene. And another one, the third one is She's Got Class, lots of class. Spend PP or 1 PowerPoint plot point to create an unknown ship class asset when someone tries to identify your ship.
False flag operation. I like it.
How many distinctions can a ship have?
Total of 3, and you get 1 automatic.
Yeah, our automatic one is passenger liner, spared no expense, and verse class.
Okay, so we get 2 more.
2 more.
Yeah,
and I hear a lot of love for Curse.
Yes.
And so let's go with Curse.
Yay! It's going to be so much fun to role play.
Yes, my captain.
Oh, Captain, my captain.
Just imagine poor shepherds getting called to rooms like, there's a demon in here again. All right.
Well, that's why all the pilgrims on their mission come to our ship, is to help exercise all the bullshit, you know?
Check this out. Cursed. So the first empty box. So did you write cursed?
I did.
Okay, cool. Under that, with next to the first empty box, write never challenge worse. And the next one is unlucky. And I'll tell you what those do.
Worse? W-O-R-S-E?
Yeah. What those do, never challenge worse, let you start every episode with a cursed ship D6 complication. Step it up to re-roll a die on any failed action. Once it exceeds D12, your ship is taken out until the end of the scene.
Okay.
And the second one, unlucky, take a That's Goram Strange D6 complication and give yourself a plot point.
Okay.
And are the complications written down okay. Yeah. Just curious what they are.
Complications are kind of open-ended. There's not like a big old list. They're more narrative tags that you use against yourself.
I also think, too, that having these kind of, at least having the curse for the ship, will make for an interesting TV show, which I think is kind of what we're all having in mind.
Yeah. And what's the second one that you want to take? Or I should say the third.
Well, the third one, I mean, we were talking Cobbled Together, but it almost feels like Curse delivers the same sort of thing, just not with the sub-distinctions of do we want to go built for speed? Do we want something else?
Can you read what built for speed does?
Focused thrust is the first one. When using engines for raw speed, you double your engines, remove the highest rolling die, and add 3 dice together for the result. And the other one's called full burn. You can spend a plot point to reroll a pool containing engines dice. On your subsequent roll, both 1s and 2s count for complications.
The faster we get people off this boat, the less they complain.
That's true.
But also, would it make sense to have a super, super fast passenger liner?
Have you looked at our engineer?
Oh,
Okay.
wait.
Okay,
Check this
fair.
out. Check this out.
Okay.
Cruising the verse. Your berths are first class, with plush velvet seats, stunning chandeliers, and lovely music. While the food is excellent and the service impeccable, these fineries come with a price. Snooty passengers. The first one, customer is always right, unfortunately. Start every episode with unreasonable customer demands as a complication. Yeah. Again, step it up. Same with the other one. And the other one, service is our number one priority. Crew members may spend plot points for any other crew member on board your ship when those crew members are interacting with passengers.
You don't want a boat full of Karens?
Well, no, okay. No, first of all, no, not space Karens. That's the worst. So here's kind of what I'm thinking is that oh God, I just had it brain. What was it? Like, I don't think like being a service industry ship was like your first thought.
Wasn't my first thought.
No, I'm guessing it's one of those things that sort of after the fact you're like, to make a little extra money, we could do this. So we are not service industry people. We should not be. None of us should be around people.
No,
with
the exception of
Captain Chiseljaw over here.
Captain McDreamy over here. So I'm kind of like half and half on that one. I really like the idea of like
it being kind of a shitty boat. Not shitty, just kind of drab because it's out of style.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, it's got all the plush. It's got like plush. It's just 40 years old.
I'm just saying, with the style that you're going for.
50 years old.
And something like this. Remember, we're going like outdated internal stuff, shag carpet, the plush, the kind of maybe in the 70s.
Yes.
You could name it the Karen Carpenter.
Love it.
Oh my God. I was thinking about we should just call it That Boat Need Jesus.
I like That Boat Need Jesus.
That Boat Need Jesus.
The man, but you got the Carpenters playing.
Yep.
The Osmonds.
Oh, God.
You throw in some CCR too,
we have this.
Don't run through
one of the eccentricities of the ship is the fact that the sound system came pre-programmed with songs that no one had ever heard of before because the former owner had a bootleg pre-Exodus soundtrack that they picked up, and for some reason we can't change it.
Oh my God.
We've only just begun.
This is Barry, baby.
Well, what I'm saying is, at least from my character's perspective, all of this sounds pretty fun. This is not necessarily a vote for it, but the cruise in the verse thing, I can totally see being, if you put Perk in charge of customer relations, which he excels at and actually doesn't even seem to understand when customers are angry or making fun of him. He's just constantly like talking to him. He's so dense, he doesn't quite pick up that the customer might be insulting him. Mm-hmm. He just goes out of his way to provide service, and for some reason it works.
You're like Princess from Pugmire.
Yeah.
She was really dumb, but it usually worked.
And the rest of the crew avoids interacting with passengers more than absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have the thing where, where the shepherd just is like, oh, God, another one. All right.
Go talk to the pretty one.
Yeah. Or, he'll just be kind of walking down the corridor. She's like someone who looks like they need Jesus. All right, I got to go back this way now. Shepherd. Ah, shit.
The chief calls down to the shepherd and goes, look, we booked a bunch of freaking pilgrims. We have 2 that need marriage counseling. Unless you want me revoking your key code to the liquor cabinet.
Yeah,
in there.
Yeah, and then he just kind of shows up with a fucking fifth and a cigarette in his mouth like, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to do this my way. You start off with taking shots and we'll see what happens.
Oh my God. We're going to call the boat Pious Pleasure Cruises. Yeah? No?
I think just calling it the Pious.
Yeah.
Pious.
Anyway.
Is there an infamous in there that I thought I heard you read? Or just famous?
There's bad reputation.
What is that one?
You know that the previous owners of your ship were members of a criminal organization. You just didn't realize how bad until you realize folks get mighty ornery whenever they spot your boat in the sky. The ones that you get for this are: revenge is the dish best served cold. You get to take or step up a complication involving your boat's nasty reputation to gain a plot point.
Wow.
Yes, it is that ship. When you're trying to intimidate someone with your ship, spend 1 plot point to create a scary ship D6 or D8 asset.
Okay, so I have some thoughts on this. I'm thinking perhaps our ship used to be used as an actual human smuggling vessel.
I was thinking mobsters used to own this ship.
No, mobster. No, I think, a criminal gang that owned it because they would have like luxury parties on here and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was like the personal flagship of one of the most notorious gangsters.
Yeah.
And there's all reputations about what going on. So what? Yeah.
So we've been talking about the decor.
And the ghosts. Apparently, people were murdered on this vessel by whoever.
100%. Oh, yeah, that's the former execution room. Wait, what?
Every now and then you open the bathroom or you lift the toilet seat and there's just a severed head screaming at you. And you close it, lift it back up, and it's fine. Like, oh, God, drank too much last night.
So, given the decor, think Russian crime boss.
Yeah.
Which fits the 70s theme real well. Maybe he got taken out on this boat, so it's cursed because of everything that happens, but it's his boat, so it's still rather infamous, and that's also why I was able to pick it up for a song.
Oh, I was going to say, did you buy this boat at a police auction?
I will say that I am a decorated military veteran, and I do have connections in the Navy, and so, maybe one of my purple brothers hooked a brother up with something going cheap.
And I was thinking, too, that perhaps the passengers that we have on here, like, they kind of like, oh, shit, that's the last transport out to the pilgrim site. Fuck that boat. All right, I'm also poor. Okay, fine.
We never mentioned the name in promotional materials.
Oh, I'm sure you changed the name.
Yeah, but they definitely go and they like see the ship and like, is that the? Oh, it's that boat. Oh, it's the Ivan. Oh God.
Yeah, there's something very distinctive about it.
I think instead of Russian mob, we'll do Greek mob.
Oh yeah.
Because I've got a connection to it. So my character's of Greek background. His name is Perseus Alexius.
Right.
And Alexi or whatever. We'll mess around with it to fit it.
Sexy Lexi.
But perhaps the mobster also had the last name Alexius. No relation. But if people find out his name, suddenly it ties into that. Yes, it is that ship, actually. You wouldn't want to piss off his son now, would you?
And Lexi's just like has no idea of any of this. He's like,
that's just what we tell the passengers.
Yeah, my father was Mr. What? I don't even
talk. Yeah, that's his son.
I like it. So,
oh God.
All right.
So we're liking the, what is it? And it's not infamous. It's
bad reputation.
Bad reputation.
So let's go.
A cursed ship with a bad reputation.
Cursed bad reputation. Yeah. I'm liking this. Are we in agreement here, folks?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
love
cool.
All right, hold on. So bad reputation.
Bad reputation.
Oh my God. This game just got more awesome. We're going to give Halo Hands so much shit to work with. And he is going to fuck us at every single...
He doesn't know why he's cackling right now. So it is off in the hinterlands, but he's cackling right now.
Okay, and next to the first dot, or the first square, put revenge is a dish best served cold. And next to the third one, put yes, comma, it is that ship. Distinction triggers would be next. Okay. We get 2 of those empty checkboxes to check off.
Ooh.
So that we have a total of 6 empty checkboxes on there. 2 that we can check off.
Our ship is easily triggered?
No, because we have only 2 out of 6.
Okay.
I mean, yes, it is that ship. Seems like a good one to start with.
Yeah. I feel like we got to take
good opening.
One from both. I think we got to take that one and then one of the ones from under Cursed.
So I'll read them again. So Cursed, we have never challenge worse and unlucky. Under bad reputation, we've got revenge is a dish best served cold. Yes, it is that ship. And then under, just for shits and giggles, under passenger liner, we've got spared no expense and first class entertainment.
Yeah, no.
Fuck
no.
that, yeah.
I'm thinking for a good opening to this TV show of a game that we're about to play. I think Unlucky, and yes, it is that ship.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
NPC
I'm down.
down.
Cool.
Excellent.
All right, Unlucky. And yes, it is that ship. Every now and then a brick of cocaine just falls out of the wall or something. I don't know. Like, there's weird shit going on here.
That actually sounds lucky. What are you talking about?
Captain, I found another hidden compartment. This one has manacles and stains.
Oh, I think a good Unlucky, and yes, it is that ship is, this person who books passage, they get on it, and then, about quarter way into the episode, they're like, that looks awfully familiar. I feel like I was chained there. What? Oh, God.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. So we have this person that's slowly realizing, like, this is the ship that he was imprisoned upon once by the by the mob guy, and he just starts coming on, finds out that there's an Alexis on board. Tries to get the authorities.
So next we got to pick signature assets. We get 2 of them. I'll tell you from the list that we have here. Chapel, Crybaby, electromagnetic shielding, EMP weapons, flares and chaff, grapplers, hidden storage, hauling equipment, internal security, laser cannons, laser cooling system, med suite, mighty fine quarters, mining equipment, portable airlock, reinforced armor, shuttles, tractor beam emitter, and warheads.
That might make sense. Well, how big is this ship? Like, as far as the this class that we chose, what are the dimensions we're looking at here?
Well, it is a luxury liner, so it's a passenger liner. We're talking airplane kind of stuff.
Would it make sense for us to have shuttles to shuttle people to and fro, as opposed to having to go and pay, docking fees or something like that for a larger ship?
I mean, there's something to be said about that, because then we can paint the windows so they can't see the outside of the ship.
Just make the windows just, scenes of, tropical fish swimming by.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice calming ocean sounds.
So I'm of two minds about this, because I think that if this was a mobster ship that has been derelict and maybe I don't know, we don't know what the hell's going on with it, but I think weapons and security seem to make the most sense.
It was stripped down, though.
Yeah.
If anything, a heavier armor would make more sense if you want to go down that road. So it would make sense to have like a much, like one of those bulletproof, limousine kind of deals.
Yeah.
Like the car's not going to shoot anybody, but it can definitely take an RPG.
I did like hidden storage. That seems in line with our mythos here.
I like hidden storage. I also like chapel.
And mighty fine quarters is another good one. One or more of the living quarters in your ship has been dressed with the finest furniture, fabrics, and frippery. And impressing clients and visitors, as long as you keep it clean.
And chapel, I assume, is chapel, but read the description anyways, because I think Jacob and I said that both at the same time.
Yep.
Sometimes, yep. This is chapel.
How many do we get?
2.
2. Okay.
Hidden storage and chapel?
I mean, I'm down for that.
I think that makes
Sounds
sense.
good.
I'm more in favor of the mighty fine quarters than hidden storage or something like shuttles. I mean, I guess I'm okay with chapel if we want that to play a big thing, but hidden storage, we're not smugglers.
Right.
It seems a little too pushing towards another concept that we didn't focus on.
Yeah.
I think shuttles is a good one. I can definitely give up chapel. Because I also feel like my character doesn't really like being a shepherd, but he did find God and kind of knew that he had to.
You could also make a chapel out of anywhere.
Right.
It could just be my room.
So rather than a chapel, which is, full dress and stuff, we have like a wardroom that's been converted over to a makeshift.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we going with for our attributes?
I think shuttles. Are we all good with shuttles?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I think we need to do shuttles.
A D8 asset is what they are. Yeah.
And then
D8?
Yeah.
I think Nathaniel's right on the
Mighty fine quarters.
Mighty fine quarters.
Okay.
Just because like if we can, especially whether it's a flock of pilgrims where we put their leader in the really nice one and that keeps everybody else in line or whatever.
Are those both D8?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely not the captain's quarters.
Yeah.
Okay. Once those are written down, congratulations. You've reached the last step and you've created a ship. Now comes the hard part. You need to name it. Give it a little personality.
55 minutes later.
If you can't figure out a name, it says roll 2d12 for a 2-part name. Either match it or then roll again and do it for a thing. And there's options here.
All right. So, Jacob, tell me about your character again.
Ang Cumberland was the bosun on an Alliance Navy vessel during the Unification War. Barely survived the Battle of Sturgis, ended up spending a week in his vac suit on a derelict ship with just a handful of the rest of the crew. After the Unification War, didn't fit in all that well to civilian life landside, crawled into a bottle for a while, crawled back out, and got the first ship he could scrape together enough resources for, and has hit the black. He doesn't have any grand schemes other than just keeping her clicking over.
Okay. What when you went shopping for a ship, what drew you to this ship?
Price point.
Okay, that was the only reason is the price was right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just rolled Jasmine Dumpling.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on.
But military Navy.
Darling Clementine.
Ooh, that's kind of nice.
Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling.
I was thinking something with a nautical-ish sounding name.
For some reason, Poseidon was speaking to me, but I don't really know why.
Well, I just rolled the shiny fish.
I mean, you could go like salty mermaid, but that sounds a little too sailory.
Poseidon's blessing.
Poseidon's curse.
Shh. Do not speak of that, Poppy.
Oh God.
Poseidon would go with the whole Greek thing.
We would also go with the Greek thing, too. Like, we changed the name, but forgot about the...
Yeah.
We shouldn't have kept the Greek. Damn it.
Poseidon's lunch money. No.
No.
I don't know.
I think its previous name would be something Poseidon.
Yeah.
So it might be known as...
I like that.
Poseidon's Trident.
Or maybe the Royal Poseidon. Or,
Yeah. I like that for the former name.
Yeah.
We still
Red Poseidon.
Oh, Red Poseidon.
But
I
but Jacob, when you saw this ship and the price was right, and you're like, whatever, I need a ship. When you saw this ship and you walked into it and you saw what it looked like, what name called to you? This is your home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it named after a battle buddy?
No.
Is it named after some superstition from the Navy?
Yeah, let's see. God. Browncoat's Lament. No.
No. I'm going to stab a motherfucker right now.
No.
What about like Spearfish?
Oh, that's kind of nice.
We're keeping it nautical.
Mm-hmm.
And Spearfish, I believe, is a type of torpedo.
Yes.
What's the saying? Red sky.
In morning, sailors take warning.
And what's the other one?
Red sky at night, sailors delight.
Red night.
The red night could work.
Or
red skies at night. Red skies at night. Oh.
Or we have red skies.
How about just Red Delight?
Oh, Red Delight. Yeah.
What about Red Dawn?
No.
Oh, is that a movie or something?
You don't want to cue me up for that. No.
Yes, I do.
Actually, Red Delight is a random option.
Oh, let's take Red Delight.
All right.
Yeah.
I also like red skies.
Yeah.
I'm not super feeling Red Delight. I like Red Skies better.
Okay. Let's go with that.
Like Delight's kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
We just know that it means like red skies.
I think
night.
it would be red sky over skies.
Red sky?
Yeah.
Red sky.
Red sky
yes.
is good.
Yeah.
Red sky is good.
Red sky. We all liking red sky?
Yep.
Halo Hand, if you're listening, do not set us up to be going up against Blue Sun just because we're red sky.
Oh, God.
Oh my God. Yes.
Red sky used to be red.
Also,
Poseidon.
shut up, Jacob.
Royal Poseidon.
Used to be red Poseidon. No, red Poseidon.
Red Poseidon, now it's red sky.
Yeah, and I think what could be fascinating is that no matter what color you paint it, eventually it just becomes red again for some reason. Or maybe it's part of the curse. Yeah, maybe it was made with like a red composite material that just can't hold paint.
You and I were thinking the exact same thing.
No, it's like that movie, The Red Violin, and no one can figure out what made it red, and at the end you find out it's blood.
Yep.
Fun story. I've actually seen the red violin, and I've seen someone play it.
Really?
Like the actual violin. Yeah, this woman who owns it, her father's some, fucking British gazillionaire or whatever. And I think it was her grandfather that bought it for her when she was 12 because she was kind of a budding, amazing violinist. Just for a few $1 million. Here's a gift, kid.
Shit.
But this, like when she walked into the fucking old church, there was a dude that was clearly packing heat, never beyond like 10 feet from her.
Yeah.
Just this dude with a shaved head and a really nice suit, just mean mugging everybody, and just sat right in the front row. And I'm like, I know what this is.
Well, that's it.
We got a ship.
All right. Shall I read her off to you?
Yes, please.
All right. So I am flying the red sky for our dear Captain
Ang Cumberland.
Why can't I remember your name? We have an engine. We have our passenger liner. We have an engine of 6, a hull of 10, a systems of 8. We have shuttles and mighty fine quarters. We spared no expense. Oh wait, no, those aren't checked.
Right.
Right now.
we can potentially buy those up later as the story goes. So those are options for the future.
But right now we are cursed and a bad reputation. We are unlucky, and yes, it is that ship.
Yeah.
I feel like we have a ship that has some built-in story hooks and a crew that has the skill set to try to overcome them.
I love our haunted former mob boss killing pleasure yacht kind of action we got going.
Quite happy.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's a wrap.
Woohoo!
Well, hopefully we'll get to play this someday. Halo Hand, we're probably looking at you. But if anybody else wants to run Firefly for us and stream it and we record it, please let us know. We got a crew ready to go and a pretty bitchin' ship.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Come fly the red skies with us.
Let's go ahead and close this out then. This has been another Bikers, Dice, and Bars character jam. As usual, I am NPC.
I'm just Jacob.
I am Dr. Xander Gerrymander.
I am Poppy Beaujolais.
And thanks for listening. As usual, want to remind you,
keep your shiny side up.
When we can finally fucking back open again, please tip your bartender a lot.
Roll those crits as often as you can.
Please always drink responsibly.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for joining us, friend. We've reached the end of Bikers, Dice, and Bars. Talking bicycles and motorbikes, gamer things and all the like. You can listen to it in your car. But Bikers, Dice, and Bars. Bikers, Dice, and Bars. Bikers, Dice, and Bars. Bikers, Dice, and Bars. Yep.